Hey guys, welcome to Students Fighting for Change. For today's talk, we will be discussing an important world issue, which affects air pollution. With me, I have some special guests from People for Environmental Change. We have Kim, Allison, Julio, and Rogelio. So guys, how does the air pollution contribute to global warming, which affects humans and the Arctic due to a result of climate change?
Hi, George. Thank you for having my team and I today. Air pollution is all around us. It can be caused by emissions from factories, cars, planes, aerosol cans, and even secondhand cigarette smoke. These types of air pollution are called anthropogenic sources. In addition to that, there are natural sources of air pollution, which are caused by wildfires or ash from volcanoes.
So we know that air pollution contributes to three different major problems, such as impacts on human health, causing global warming, and destroys the Arctic. Can you guys explain how air pollution contributes to these problems?
Of course, George. Air pollution is a factor that impacts Arctic climate change. Air pollution emission plumes are compressed of dangerous trace gases, particles, and toxic substances. Coming from Northeast Asia and Northern Europe, they travel to the Arctic region, which in return affects the sustainability of the habitats and allow cloud droplets to freeze at higher temperatures, reducing clouds' lifetime.
One problem with air pollution is that many air pollutants contribute to climate change. According to an excerpt from science.sciencemag.org, the air pollutants either cause too much sunlight being absorbed or too little, therefore causing the atmosphere to either be too hot or too cold. In the case of the Arctic, the planet is too hot. The ice is melting, therefore causing many animals to migrate to other places as they lose their natural habitat, aka their home, and others are at risk of extinction. Animals like polar bears and walruses are dying out little by little because they have no place to rest and don't have the energies to hunt. With animals disappearing, the food chain in the Arctic is dismantling. The Arctic is warming at a rate of almost twice the global average. If we continue to turn a blind eye and not take immediate action to cut greenhouse gas emissions, we will continue to feel the effects of warming Arctic. Rising sea levels, changes in climate and precipitation patterns, increasing severe weather events and loss of fish, stocks, birds, and marine mammals.
Alternately, tundra are one of the most affected environments due to climate change. Tundras are located in the Arctic region, are among the most highest temperature ecosystems in the world. These biomes are home for the wildlife, and the disruption of a warmer climate is causing a risk of drought and wildfires. A warmer climate in these regions causes feedback loops.
We know that air pollution contributes to global warming, therefore affecting the entire ecosystem and the Arctic. But what exactly is global warming? Global warming is a gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere, generally attributed to the greenhouse effect caused by increased levels of carbon dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons, and other pollutants. It is important that we, as a society, are aware of the impact of global warming, especially regarding our food supply. Global warming is expected to affect agriculture in every part of the world, but it will have a greater impact in the tropics and subtropics, where crops are less able to adapt to climate change and food shortages are already starting to occur due to rapid population growth.
As a result of air pollution, it also causes both short-term and long-term health effects to humans. Some short-term health effects we see are people having discomfort to their nose, throat, eyes, or skin. It can also cause headaches, dizziness, and nausea. Long-term effects include heart disease, lung cancer, and other respiratory diseases. It can also damage a person's nerves, brain, kidney, and liver. Writers for World Health Organization.org state that 4.2 million people die every year to outdoor air pollution, and that 3.8 million deaths occur as a result of household exposure due to smoke from dirty cook stoves and fuels.
With all these problems, what could be some solutions?
So, George, some solutions include limiting the amount of pollution that companies emit, reduce everyday emissions, drive eco-friendly cars, and to recycle.
And what are some actions we can take?
For starters, we can demand that companies take action and place the cap and trade system on the amount of emissions they produce. Essentially, that would mean that companies would go that would go over their cap would have to pay for it. On the other hand, companies that produce less emissions would sell their remaining pollution allowance to other companies, creating the cap and trade system. In addition to that, we can also reduce everyday emissions by not buying products or materials that emit carbon dioxide, and by using natural and chemical-free products that do not contain VOCs, which are volatile organic compounds.
We suggest pollution plums from emission sources should lower their activities from shipping, power production, and other industrial activities. Everyone in our community can advocate about emission gases being harmful to the Arctic region by staying informed in social media and subscribe to newsletter articles that are in favor of reducing greenhouse effect.
So what's the solution for global warming?
See, George, the answer to this question is relatively simple. We can contribute by eliminating the use of fossil fuels in every area of society possible and stop greenhouse gas emissions from other sources such as deforestation, agriculture. It is important that we speak up and protest against large corporations that contribute to the production of air pollution. Everyday civilians can contribute to help stop global warming by doing things as simple as changing a light bulb, checking your car tires, using less hot water, or even just by going out and planting a tree.
With that being said, guys, can you guys give me our listeners some tips on what they can start doing today in order to reduce air pollution?
I'm glad you asked, George. The most effective things we can do, ranking from highest to lowest, would be 1. Reduce usage of cars by taking public transportation, ride sharing, or even riding a bike to work.
2 would be reducing the amount of aerosol products and toxic materials, such as toxic paint, for example.
Using natural and chemical-free cleaning products.
Compost yard waste.
Consider using gas logs instead of wood.
And asking companies to limit the amount of pollution they produce by using other natural alternatives.
Well, that is all for today's podcast, and now we know why we should take air pollution more serious. I want to thank you guys for taking part of your day to educating the audience.
We out.
Hey guys, welcome.